Hello, viewer, and welcome to a scene for the Living World of Darkness, Changeling, and Camarilla venue. In this scene, Monroe is going to just stumble across someone new. Well, at least someone new to her um, in the sewers of New York City. So here we go.
All right, would you like me to start?
Uh, Monroe is kind of has been kind of like a shadow in the city. She didn't have much of a presence in the first place, but since some silly members of her clan has caused quite a ripple above ground in K-Night politics, she's been definitely laying low, um, gathering information, consolidating her power bases, uh, and trying to be a smart Nosferatu. Um, Survival, of course, being paramount above all else. Um, so she's patrolling her domains, which are below the city streets.
Tribenton is walking through the sewer system, just having had a conversation with his wardnicks about his mouth. He's been a little too social today, so he's going into the sewer system to kind of get away from the hustle and bustle of the city and the noise. So he's probably on his way home to his freehold, but just decided to take the sewers this time instead, kind of just get away from the crowds.
Okay. And it's definitely not crowded down here. It's definitely not many people who are adventurous enough to travel via the subway system, and then especially when it starts to thin out and go into the less clean areas of the city. There are some bums who try to scrape a life from these kind of like the undercarriage of the city, but not many other people. There's almost a sense of predatory malice down here.
That suits Tribenton just fine. He's feels very comfortable in the sewer systems and in the dark tank places where the normal people tend to look away from.
Right. All right. So walking in the sewer system, you will see something that's probably less suspected. Um, Treventon's been around the block, but coming up the kind of one of the sides, the sewage is flowing like a river. But coming up one of the sides of the utility walkways is a 5'2", like Middle Eastern like beauty with all these like veils on and stuff. Very, very much out of place, it seems.
Uh, Tribenton continues walking a little slower, watching. He lights up a cigarette, as he always does. He kind of just watches the veils approaching.
The figure pauses and very lightly, perhaps it's only Tribenton's ears and his heightened senses that could possibly give him any hope of catching this. She says, "Do you have a light?"
Uh, we'll play along. She's talking very quietly.
Yeah.
Okay. So, 3 successes. Assuming diff 6.
Standard. Yeah.
Yep. So 3 successes. very, very quietly, very soft spoken. He says, "I do," and he pulls out a antique looking Zippo.
Hmm. She begins to walk over to Tribenton.
It is painfully obvious that Tribenton is studying her very, very, very carefully.
Okay. Um, so she definitely looks out of place. The clothes, while they're not spun from moonlight and spider silk like Tribenton has seen with the sheet, they're very, very finely crafted. Um, and there is something almost predatory about her gait as she's closing the distance between the two of you.
As she gets closer, he starts to feel that she's a banal creature. He slightly uncomfortable. Like as she gets closer, his skin starts to itch, and you can just tell that uh, she's more banal than most.
People. Yeah. Um, she kind of gets closer and then she gives Tribenton the once over. Um, Definitely not where she would expect this deep, this far off the beaten tracks.
He's in his standard clothing, top hat and all, very Victorian, almost goth-like.
She appreciates the style.
Who are you, if you
She
don't mind me
tosses away
asking?
her cigarette like she's like, ah, I need to quit anyway. But she turns. She's like, my name is Monroe.
I am Tribenton.
You are far off the beaten path.
I could say the same to you.
You could. It would be less true, of course.
That's very presumptuous of you. This could be my path too.
Could. Although it's a path that I have trodden many nights. Although, just because I have walked it doesn't mean I own it. There's some truth in that statement.
You come here often, he says with a very joking voice.
She chuckles very like throaty. Yes and no. It's kind of a place where I could go to get away from all the bright lights and
The noise.
the noise. That's a good way of putting it. The noise. So much of it up there, isn't there?
It's very loud and very bright.
Very foolish. She kind of turns away as if she's reflecting on something. So this isn't a place where typical conversation happens. Um, most people are off put by the aroma.
I am not most people.
I'm beginning to see that.
Treventon has a very confident air about him. Not overly confident, but he seems very comfortable.
It seems as if Moreau is responding positively to that. Where first she approached, her manner was very menacing and almost predatory. Now she's relaxing, and you can feel more of a personality, like taking the place of this predatory instinct. You feel more of a person coming forward.
So your fashion statement is very interesting to me.
Well, once I thought this would be my gift to the world. Um, I was foolish. I was young. Now I think there are other things that I could give to the world that are far more lasting than stitches.
Then you're gonna have to explain that to me if you don't mind.
Ah, fashion. It is the ultimate mask. We could drape ourselves in all kind of finery, and layer by layer we conceal that which we wish others not to see.
So you view clothes as a kind of disguise?
You do not?
No.
What do you think of them?
I view my clothing as an extension of myself.
Hmm.
When someone looks upon me, I want them to see me.
The true you?
No one can ever see the true me or the true anyone, really.
Ah, yes, that's what I was afraid that you were alluding to, that you invited the world to see you so nakedly. I have not met someone who was so brash about allowing the world to see them as they truly are.
I have my secrets.
Oh, wow. Well, don't we all? Secrets are best told in the dark. Or perhaps shared is a better word, better term.
They feel more true, don't they?
There's a seductive power there. She notes that this is a very unusual conversation to be having with someone. Um, she eyes Trey Benton over. Um, the typical, what can be considered pregnancy test, vampire pregnancy test, to see if he has any of the signs of what she knows about canines. Her senses of sight are extremely heightened, so she tries, I'm not sure what Turbitin is exactly wearing, but she tries to look to notice if he's breathing, but of course that could be faked.
Hmm.
Um, she looks across his skin, which might be pale, but also she's hoping to notice a pulse, which is a lot harder to fake.
He does have a pulse if she's able to receive it. And he is slightly pale. Not death pallor pale like a vampire, but he's pale.
Hmm. So it would seem that you are also a purveyor of secrets.
Purveyor of secrets. I just said I have my own. I mean, isn't everybody?
I have my own. They're a lot less interesting than other people's secrets, however. I suppose someone else might consider my secrets interesting. But look at us. This is very odd. In a sewer, talking about secrets in the dark.
It is not the weirdest thing to ever happen to me.
Hmm. That makes me think, if not the sharing of a secret, how about the sharing of a tale? What would be the weirdest thing to happen to you? You could tell
What
a stranger that you'll most likely never see again.
the weirdest thing to happen to me? These shadows have spoke to me. They, over many nights, they've tried to get me to come to my bedroom window and to come outside.
You can see that she looks amused. Uh, she's polite enough not to laugh, but it's kind of a ridiculous notion.
Hmm.
Um, and you can see that kind of like that dismissing kind of arrogance, kind of like flicker in her eyes. But she's polite enough not to say anything. Um,
Out of game, Trevathan is referring to as Chrysalis.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
To
So the
which the
vampire's like,
shadows,
what?
the shadows did speak to him and tell him to come outside.
What kind of airy fairy stuff are you talking about here? Like, oh, he was just on drugs or something. uh, she got all nods. You could tell, and she's listening very politely. And that predatory sense is definitely gone from her demeanor. Um, and she's warmed up to you, just like appreciating the human contact. Um, you kind of get almost the feeling of someone like someone that's been like secluded or away from like human contact. Like you get that vibe from her because she's definitely interested in what you're saying, no matter how ridiculous it may seem.
That's appropriate.
uh, she's just kind of nodding, like, "Aw, he's broken."
That's awesome.
It's like, well, I thank you for your story.
You have one?
I have many.
What's the weirdest thing to happen to you?
The weirdest thing to happen to me would be traveling along some of these very same paths. I would say not 2 months ago, I stumbled upon a weird alcove that was more ancient, it seemed, than the city itself. Within this alcove, there was a great mass of rats. And were I a lesser creature, these rats would have eaten me alive.
Lesser creature. What do you mean by that?
What's that?
What do you mean by that? Lesser creature.
Lesser than what I am. Come now, you could talk to shadows. Surely I can be more than I seem.
I don't talk to shadows.
Oh, sorry. They talk to you. My bad. My apologies. She says in a very humoring tone, like, sorry, I got your crazy story mixed up.
You're forgiven. They spoke to me, and only the once.
You told what she considers a fanciful story, but she tells a truth instead. She's obviously might not be as creative to come up with like something as fanciful. So she tells a truth that seems unbelievable, but it's a truth.
So you found a bunch of rats, and they didn't eat you.
A lot of rats.
A lot of rats.
A lot of rats. But it's New York.
Indeed.
They're very, very dangerous creatures which walk the night.
Indeed. This is New York City, after all.
She chuckles at that. You are an interesting man, Treventon.
Thank you. May I ask what you do for a living?
Well, once I sold gowns. I was known for my garments and fashions. Um, but that feels as if it was a lifetime ago. The sultana of stitches. I can weave the most beautiful silks and satins. Kind of looks off wistfully for a moment. But
Treventon looks puzzled by this.
fairy tales don't last forever, and reality occurred. Now I do things that are more practical.
Like?
Secrets are more practical. Information.
So you're a purveyor of secrets, is that what you're saying?
I would not say purveyor. But
Some kind of illegal activity?
yeah, illicit maybe.
Interesting. Treventon's kind of thinking that she's of higher venality than most. She's uncomfortable by her presence, just because she's very banal. But the talk of being like almost like a fashion designer, it doesn't mesh with this banality he's feeling. He's someone like that would be very creative and therefore not banal like that. Like maybe a normal human, maybe a little less, but this is more. So he's confused by that. It's not meshing together.
Yeah, definitely not adding up there.
There's something he can't put his finger on it, but there's something not right. So that's kind of Treventon's thought process right now.
Yeah, I know. So just a flick of that lighter or figuring out what it is, too.
It's like, why is she so banal? It's just like creative, but banal. What?
Flick that lighter one time. Just right check. Here we go. Okay.
Eventually, Treventon will light up another cigarette since he has
don't do that.
He does. He has addiction to smoking, so he's gonna light up another cigarette.
Why, God, why?
It's a cigarette lighter. Your difficulty is like 3.
I know.
All right,
rolling. Get those dogs a rolling.
and I'm gonna roll a perception. Oh, good, you didn't fuck up.
She didn't freak out.
She didn't flip out. Would you say that the character kind of flinches, or there's a noticeable reaction to the flame?
It's still fire, so she does kind of flinch, and then she turns her head and kind of just flicks her hair to try and act like she's, You do almost hear like well, you probably will hear because your senses are heightened. It's almost a hiss before she kind of turns away from the fire.
Is there a problem?
Oh, no. Um, Old memories die hard. Um, I lost a loved one to a fire.
Is that a lie?
That is a lie.
All right.
Um, she lost her sire to a fire, but she did not love him.
All right. So we'll see if Trevor can pick up the lie. So what would you put the difficulty at? Say 6? Standard?
Standard, yeah.
So it's 4 for him. So it's 4 successes. Okay, so Trebenton figures out that that's not truthful.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, that sounds like bullshit.
That's bullshit. Let's see. Trebenton has met one vampire before Bishop, and he saw Bishop get lit up
Yes.
by the flame of the dragon. So he's felt a higher banality individual. I'm not sure if this is enough to connect the dots since he only met one vampire one time. It was a very stressful situation with the dragon. He may not have been watching exactly when Bishop was, set ablaze. So he definitely notices that the fire is a thing, but we'll say he doesn't, quite put
Two and two together.
just yet. Yeah, it's not quite enough with only one visit from a vampire that lasted very quickly. But he definitely files that away as like, that's odd.
Right. Warrants further investigation, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Well,
lost a loved one to the flame.
Yes.
Who was this loved one?
Someone who was like a father to me. That smell, you can never quite forget the smell.
A male loved one.
What's that?
A male loved one.
Oh, she said it. She said the smell. You can never quite forget the smell.
Interesting.
But yes, he was like a father to me.
Interesting.
So I shared a story of loss. Do you have one to share?
I do, actually. There was a woman, and I didn't know her very long, but we fell in love. We met at a bar. Very cliche. We had a couple of dates, and there was a real connection. Was it love? Probably not yet. Could it have been? I think so. But in an ironic twist of fate, she was killed by a drunk driver. That's total bullshit. If she wants to check.
How absolutely tragic, she says while looking you over. Okay, sorry. I should have got my diary.
He's not even really trying to hide it that much.
Right.
It's total bullshit.
So I'd say 2 successes if the difficulty is standard.
Yeah, that's sufficient. He's not really trying to hide it.
It's an appreciation because he's at least able to. She respects people's boundaries, but that story there has definitely piqued her interest. So she's going to file that away. Well, you caught me when I was on my way to catch a bite, so to speak.
Oh, I wouldn't want to keep you from anything important.
Well, previous engagements being as they are, I would hate to appear rude.
Naturally. One last question before you leave.
Certainly.
Did you know an individual by the name of Bishop?
Oh man, I see. This is the part where she tries not to make a facial. She tries not to recognize. Recognition is gonna go across her face, so she tries to not display that recognition.
Okay.
So,
Make
what's
me-
what subterfuge? Maybe.
Um, yeah, let's go with that. Against his perception empathy.
Okay.
Not looking good. I got 5 successes.
Yikes!
Because of my slowness.
I got 4. No.
Slowness wins out again.
She definitely recognizes the name. You see the recognition, like kind of light across her face. She tries to hide it, and she says, "Bishop, not sure."
No.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. I was just curious. Something about you, I don't know. Thought you might know him.
Well, good day, Mr. Tribenton.
Good day. Just, thank you for being so truthful. And he says that with, you get the impression that he knows that you're full of it. But he doesn't poke or push.
Right.
But he lets you know that I know you're lying to me.
Right. She says you're welcome, but it has like a hard edge to it. It's almost like she spat it out. Because who likes to be caught in a lie? So, especially when lying's your kind of your business,
Yeah.
She doesn't get caught in lies often, so she's like, "What the fuck?" All right. She turns and she's gonna go out to hunt. If there's nothing further, I think we'll end the scene there.
Trebenton actually reaches into his pocket and pulls out a piece of paper and a pen, and he writes down a phone number on it. This phone number is to a cell phone. It is not to Trebenton's personal cell phone. It's to a burner cell phone that he keeps. He has used it one other time in scene, so the number is out. I believe, yes, yeah. So he just writes it down and he sets it on the ground in a place that she would be able to find it if she were to come back.
Back this way. Okay.
Yep. And it's right at the spot that he is standing.
Huh. That's going to be interesting. All right.
Yep. So any attempt to trace the number, it leads to a burner line. One of the track phones you can buy any place in the city.
Yeah, Monroe utilizes a bunch of those as well. So I think we'll end the scene there.
Sure.
Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day.